Hey, hello everyone. Welcome to the Atlanta Startup Podcast. I am Waima DK, the Managing Director of Startup Runway Foundation, the leading platform linking underrepresented founders to capital and investors. And on this episode, I am thrilled and excited to welcome Raha Saremi of Ecoatex. It's a company at the forefront of sustainable fashion. And we're really proud. Raha recently snagged the Women's Empowerment Award at a recent Startup Runway Showcase virtual edition. And we're just glad to have a conversation with her on the podcast today. So, Raha, thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
No problem, no problem. So let's start by having you share a bit more about Ecotex and the inspiration behind solving this problem in fashion and sustainability.
Ecoatex is a sustainable materials company
Mhm.
focused on creating eco-friendly fibers and alternative leathers from
Mhm.
agricultural waste. Our mission is to provide the textile and fashion industry with high quality, innovative materials that reduce environmental impact. As you know, fashion industry is the second polluter of the environment after the oil industry. So by turning waste into useful green products, we help the agriculture industry with their waste as well as help with the textile and fashion industry and offer brands and consumers a responsible choice so they can contribute to sustainability and a cleaner planet. So the inspiration behind this and why I started Ecotex was um, first my background. I have a
Mhm.
PhD in material science, and also I am very passionate about sustainability, and that was the reason I started Ecotex.
That's incredible. I'm as a engineer in my own background, I'm so excited about women in STEM fields. And then also, of course, women who are moving forward and bringing their innovation to the market through entrepreneurship. So I'm so excited you're here, and really excited that we were able to award you the Women's Empowerment Award. Um, but with that, how do you see sustainability being a factor in fashion, and how are people receiving your product and your service?
Um, so sustainability, especially these days, is a very important factor for many consumers as well as for brands and manufacturers. So everybody in the fashion and textile industry trying to do, something small steps towards, a sustainable future because, there are massive amount of waste in fashion and textile industry, especially fast fashion
Mhm.
and finding a solution to use all these waste. I need to say this as well. We are using waste to make products, but our products, they are biodegradable and recyclable,
Mhm.
meaning that
Mhm.
at the end of the life cycle, we can make new products again. So we
Mhm.
are with our products, we are not contributing to, the problem with waste and uh, environmental degradation.
Mhm.
That's another good thing about Ecotex's product. But sustainability is very important, and I think because also the market is huge, and I think we have a chance here with Ecotex to, to turn a very great idea to reality and
Mhm.
contribute, to a more sustainable, clean future and, have a positive impact on the planet. So,
And I just love that you guys are being a part of a solution in a space that's been so challenging for everyone to wrap our minds around, even the government, society in general, trying to find solutions to different challenges to our planet. And here is a very, very clear solution that is helping to fill a gap. And so I appreciate what you're building here. Share a bit about your entrepreneurial journey and more specifically, some of the challenges you've faced in this process and how you've been able to get around them and overcome them.
My journey has been a blend of, challenges, innovation, resilience, and learning. So I learned a lot, and I got great feedbacks. We faced a lot of challenges. It's like when you develop a new product. Introducing that product to the market, to brands, to manufacturers, it's a little challenging at the beginning because you need to convince them that this is a great product, it works very well. Competing with traditional materials like conventional textiles has been there for hundreds of years. Right, it's a little challenging. Also, securing necessary funding, finding great team members, mentors, advisors. Yeah, it's been challenging. It's like a fun and a scary roller coaster at the same time. Yeah, you need to be very patient. It requires hard work. Sometimes I work like 24/7. I mean, I sleep, but sometimes you need to, work really, really hard. And this journey is ongoing, with each milestone, it brings, happiness, it brings challenges, and motivation. And we are, pushing forward towards, success. So yeah, but it's not an easy journey.
Absolutely not.
It's complicated.
Yeah, it's complicated. It's funny. I sometimes say that entrepreneurship is for crazy people. And the best type of crazy people because sometimes you have to talk about something that doesn't exist as if it does, and you have to say with so much conviction. And there's a special brand of folks that jump into it and really succeed. And I love these are my favorite crazy people entrepreneurs, and a badge that can be worn very proudly. But what we loved about your solution is that even in the process of building, that you've been able to engage NSF funding in your process. Can you share about how that's been instrumental in you going to market with your these sustainable textiles?
Yes, so when I started, we were very fortunate to get funding from NSF for our customer discovery process. So we went out, we talked to a lot of brands and manufacturers, to really see if there is a market for our product before, investing time and money in it. And we talked to over, 100, 200, experts from the industry, from the whole supply chain, from the raw materials manufacturers, all the way to, fashion brands and consumers and customers. But after that, we got funding from the state of Georgia. We got Georgia Research Alliance funding for our research and product development. After that, we were very fortunate to get funding from USDA for our, again, R&D and a small pilot production. And we applied for more grants. Hopefully we get some more very soon. And we are also planning to find investors and go from lab and bench scale production to larger scale production. to go to manufacturing.
That's amazing. And I wanted to talk about this piece or just mention it on the podcast because we at the mission our mission here at Startup Runway is to help underrepresented founders get to their first checks. And often what founders don't realize is that sometimes they race to go to venture capital, but there's that friends and family round that you need to raise to help prove out whatever you're building, that there's a market for it, that there's that you can create traction, all of that. And for a lot of us, we don't have friends and family who have can just sign really large checks. And so a really great alternative are grants. There's so many grants out there, especially in the space where you have something that's more science forward. And so I love that you were able to tap into that for your growth process and your growth story for Ecoatex. So congrats on that progress. I wanted to also ask you a bit about your experience at the Startup Runway. You were able to win the Women's Empowerment Award. So obviously your pitch was successful, but I would want to hear from your perspective how your experience was.
Yeah, so I think the Startup Runway was like the application process was very easy and straightforward. There wasn't anything complicated about that. I really loved that. And then the pitch day, obviously it was virtual, but it went very well. And I really loved the board meeting, talking to different mentors. I got really great feedback. Yeah, everything went very well, and we competed against really great founders with great ideas, and the fact that we won the prize is very motivating. And yeah, we really didn't think that we were gonna win, because there were so many great, ideas, so many great founders competing against us, but we are very happy that we did. So yeah, it was the highlight of, that day. But
Yeah,
everything went very
awesome.
well, and the process was
Mhm.
very easy and straightforward, and nothing complicated about that. We really loved.
Okay. That's good. Oh, well, glad to hear it. And glad to hear that like we try to make it simple, and we love the opportunity our finalists gets to interact with mentors. Like it's awesome to come pitch for some money, but we thought it's really meaningful to give you guys a bit of mentorship and direction that gets kind of spot on to the message you're telling that day. So I'm glad that you enjoy this experience. Good. Um, I want to ask what's next for Ecotex, sorry.
So next for Ecoatex is we are still working on some of our R&D. So I think R&D is going to be, forever for Ecoatex, because we are
Mhm.
innovating new, products every day. But for our
Mhm.
existing products, we are finalizing some of the, technical stuff, and we are going to have a pilot production very soon, in a month or two.
Mhm.
And
Wow.
we are in discussion with, local brands to have a small capsule collection very soon also. And the next step for us is, applying for more grants and securing funding from investors, going for larger scale production. We applied for 2 patents. We are planning to apply for more. Our goal is to have a larger scale production in 2 or 3 years. So pilot definitely
Mhm.
this year, and moving, toward having a large scale production.
That's incredible momentum. Congrats on your progress so far. That's awesome. Um, I would ask, do you have any final thoughts or advice for founders? There's many founders who will be listening to this conversation. Any tips that you have for pitching or pushing through this entrepreneurship journey in general, that you'd like to share now?
So for pitching, you need to be very clear. You have to have a compelling story that resonates with, your audience and their concerns, and practice, practice, practice. The more you practice, the better you pitch. That's for
Mhm.
pitching, but in general, be prepared for, setbacks, challenges, view them as learning opportunities. Um,
Mhm.
Surround yourself with, a strong network of mentors, advisors, team members. Yeah, because you need to get a lot of support and, stay adaptable, and open to feedbacks and comments. Um,
Mhm.
and move forward. Don't get discouraged or disappointed. It's a bumpy road, but you will get there.
That's such great advice. So, as a last point, where can our listeners find you, stay connected with what you have going on? How can folks connect with you and Ecotext?
So we have our own website. We are in process of changing it a little bit, but they can, connect with us through our website, ecoatex.com, or our LinkedIn, our social media, Instagram, Facebook. Yeah, we are everywhere, so they can find us.
Very good. Well, I really enjoyed this conversation. Congrats again on your progress, on your recent award through Startup Runway, the Women's Empowerment Award. And thank you again for sharing a bit more about Ecotext and your story and advice for listeners.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for
Okay,
having me.
no problem. So thanks to the audience for listening. Have a great rest of your day.